Guten Morgen, Bitcoin. Today is Monday, September 18th, 2017. My name is Thomas Hunt, and here's what's happening today in Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin is up 5.21% in the last 24 hours, with a last of 37.94, a high of 37.94, and a low of 35.15. Our top story: U.S. bill would ease Bitcoin tax regulations for small transactions. A bill that has just been introduced to the U.S. House by a bipartisan committee of Jared Polis, Democrat from Colorado, and David Schweikert, Republican from Arizona, would attempt to reduce the regulatory burden on Bitcoin in the United States. The bill would allow users to spend less than $600 in Bitcoin without having to track the onerous tax of the IRS. Currently, if you buy a cup of coffee with Bitcoin, you're supposed to pay taxes on it, as well as if you buy a car. This bill would reduce that tax burden to only purchases above $600, such as laptops and Lambos, allowing coffee transactions to be untaxed. The IRS currently claims that only 802 cryptocurrency users informed them of their Bitcoin holdings. So there's obviously a great deal of problems in the tax regulation industry of Bitcoin. India considers issuing its own Bitcoin-like cryptocurrency as legal tender. Lakshmi coin would be an Indian Bitcoin created by the government. It's currently being discussed by the Reserve Bank of India and the Parliament in India, but it still seems very unlikely at this point. But it is an interesting idea, as well as the idea that India is going to regulate cryptocurrency, hopefully not too strongly. Crazy ICOs are driven by Bitcoin millionaires who need to diversify, but don't want to pay taxes. This is what I've been saying for a long time, that once people made $1 million on things like the Dow and didn't lose any of it, they would have to reinvest it somewhere. And perhaps they're buying ICOs. They talked to the first investor in Snapchat, as well as the founder of Peter Smith of blockchain, and attempted to understand what's going on with ICOs. As the article says, ICOs have raised more than $1.8 billion this year, a $2 billion fire hose of risk-loving money. And it certainly is a great deal of risk. But that's what investment is. Great risk, great reward. Sometimes, great losses. Bitcoin scam alert. ICO fraud warning for investors from watchdogs. This is in the UK. The Financial Conduct Authority is warning that ICOs are very high risk, and in some cases, may be a scam. Anyone who puts their cash into digital projects should, quote unquote, be prepared to lose their entire stake. It's good to see the mainstream media and the financial authorities working together to warn people about ICOs. However, the profits in some of them are so great that many may ignore those that fall. Wall Street analyst sees Bitcoin surging to $25,000 a coin, despite the China exchange ban. Tom Lee of Fundstrat is sticking with Bitcoin, despite the fact that China has pushed the price down. As he says, there are only 300,000 holders who have more than $5,000 in Bitcoin. That's like saying the iPhone was a bubble in 2007, 4 days into the sale, because there were only 500,000 iPhones sold. Bitcoin is a protocol, meaning the actual network itself is generating the value, so that the Visa of Bitcoin is going to be as valuable as is not going to be as valuable as the blockchain network itself. And that's why to make a fraudulent transaction on Bitcoin today, it would cost almost $30 billion to create one fake Bitcoin. This echoes the earlier report by the Central Bank of Finland, who hired academics to research Bitcoin. The academics said that Bitcoin is a monopoly, but not a normal monopoly. Bitcoin is a monopoly that enforces rules, such as the 21 million Bitcoin limit and the halving structure, which reduces the mining reward by 50% every 4 years. All Bitcoin does is maintain these rules, which is an incredibly strong position to be in. As I've been telling people, if you know about Bitcoin now, if you have some Bitcoin now, you are still very early. Every other person on the earth needs to learn about Bitcoin dismiss it as a scam, come back 6 months to a year later, see that it's still there, then realize it's never going away and it might always be going up, then they'll want to buy some. This buying pressure will raise the price of Bitcoin. Lee predicts to $25,000 a coin. And finally, a fun story of the day. Crypto Asset Visualizer turns your Bitcoin into an AR pile of cash. That's right, they're working on exciting and useful projects at the TechCrunch Disrupt event in San Francisco. Crypto Asset Visualizer does exactly what it sounds like. It makes it easier to visualize your crypto asset holdings. You can set it to show just some of your Bitcoin value in cash, or all of your Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ripple, and a few other cryptocurrencies. It's a pretty interesting tool. Let's see if we can get a reenactment of what it looks like in action. Oh, here we are. This is going to be great. All right, so that looks like $34,000, nicely spread out. 68,000. Oh, they really got to crank it up. I would like to see a big $1 million or something on the floor. But isn't that neat? The future of augmented reality. You can see how much your Bitcoin looks like. Pretty cool. Thanks so much for watching today in Bitcoin. It's early in Amsterdam, but I just wanted to get this quick update out to you. Hopefully the sound's doing good. We have some incredible internet here. I think it's going to solve all of our internet problems for a couple of days. And hopefully Tone can join us later. Make sure to give this episode a like and a share. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe down below. And I know it's early morning out there, so thank you so much for joining me. We'll be back tomorrow. And if you need something else to watch, check out the Bitcoin news we just recorded yesterday. I caught the end of it here in Amsterdam, and it was a great show, a lot of interesting panelists, and I got to go back and watch it myself. So thanks so much. Bye-bye.